Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing K-1 fiancé visas, and we're kind of comparing these to U.S. tourist visas. The reason for the video, I got some correspondence from a client, and they basically, I'm just going to quote this. Unfortunately, one of the individuals that flew with, I'm going to add, they put the name here, but I'm redacting, that flew with my fiancé, that did not use your service, did not make it through immigration at the airport, and was sent back to Thailand, ugh, in quote. Okay, I don't know why this person was not allowed to enter the United States, but I can take a pretty good guess. They probably were using a tourist visa, and they were probably using it incorrectly. And unfortunately, there's a lot of misconceptions about the way tourist visas work. There's a lot of misconceptions about about intentions associated with U.S. tourist visas. If someone is coming to the United States, and this will happen, I have done videos on how hard it is to get a U.S. tourist visa, but occasionally somebody will get through the U.S. tourist visa process through the embassy here, and they'll go to the United States. And sometimes these folks really aren't doing what they're saying they're doing. I'll just be candid. This isn't an infrequent occurrence. And in this case, people kind of think, oh, I've got the tourist visa, I'm done. We can just get her in here, and then I'll get married with her in the United States, and we'll file to change her status once she's over there. It's usually a female. It could be roles reversed, and it could be a male. But basically, we'll get her, we'll get married over here, and we'll deal with it once she's here. Well, that issued tourist visa could be a very mixed blessing, because if that person is deemed to be what's called an intending immigrant without proper documentation, they can have their tourist visa revoked and just turned around. They can be sent out. In fact, if you get an officer that really feels as though a certain level of almost misrepresentation is going on, you could see a situation where that person can be placed in what's called expedited removal. And that's basically a deportation proceeding. And if that person is in fact removed that way, you're looking at a 5-year ban to be able to come back to the United States. And that's something you really don't want to be dealing with. So the reason for the video is the client that sent me that correspondence, they're going in on a K-1. Their intentions are clear. They processed their K-1 fiancé visa correctly. And when that person entered the United States, everything was in order because they were telling the truth. I don't know exactly what this other person was doing, but I can surmise based on my experience that it's probably someone who had a U.S. tourist visa and was using it improperly, incorrectly, and they were turned around by immigration, which in my opinion, after paying all the money for the flights and everything, and the risk of expedited removal and banning from returning to the United States for a number of years, it's really not worth the risk. If you have intentions to marry someone, if you have a serious relationship with somebody and you're trying to use the tourist visa to kind of sidestep, which right now it's not even really sidestepping anything. I mean, tourist visa processing takes basically as long as fiancé visa processing. So, I mean, it just sort of is what it is. But if you're using a tourist visa to sort of sidestep the K-1 process, it's not a good idea. And it can lead to some really bad outcomes.